Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcro here, aka Scoop, back with the Pokemon Battle Federation. We've got our season number 9, week number 7 matchup, and we're facing off against Snorlaxus, aka Corey, coach of the Minnesota Shinx. As you can see on screen, he's drafted a powerful squad. Mega Gallade, Hydreigon, Tangrowth, Florges, Empoleon, Thundurus Therian, Blacephalon, Fortress, Miltank, Rhydon, and the Avalugg. So very scary squad he's got there with the Therian, or Thundurus Therian, and the Avalugg. Very potent squad. Nice Fairy Dragon Steel Core with making use of 2 Steel types, Empoleon and Fortress. He's got the more of a offensive fire type in Blacephalon, but does have Tangrowth and Empoleon as a defensive fire, grass and water core. Hydreigon's really nice, opens up holes for Mega Gallade. If you look at my squad, my check to Mega Gallade would be something like Mesprat or Savali Psychic or something like that. However, I've decided to take more of an offensive approach, and I think that my Tapu Koko can really put in the work here. So speaking of Tapu Koko, that's team captain. We started off with Tapu Koko, Kieran Black, Mega Heracross, Nidoqueen, Ferrothorn, Swampert, Mesprat, Mismagius, Savali, Alamomola, and the Entei, where our Zoom of users are Koko and the Mismagius. So we've decided to bring Thundurus Therian, Kieran Black, Mega Heracross, Nidoqueen, Swampert, and Savali, as you can see on screen. Our Tapu Koko is a modest-natured Expert Belt variant with Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Brave Bird, and Grass Knot. The Expert Belt puts out more damage and disguises our set. We don't give off Life Orb. We don't even take Recoil, which is really nice. Hence, no Roost this week. Thunderbolt hits his entire squad for at least okay damage outside of Thundurus Therian and Rhydon, both of which don't appreciate, Dazzling Gleam and Rhydon Dazzling Gleam into Grass Knot, which is really nice for us. And then we've got the Brave Bird there for the Tangrowth. Tangrowth could be problematic. Depending on his set, we could potentially 2-hit KO with Brave Bird. We do have a minus attack nature with 0 attack EVs. Max HP though, so we're very, very bulky Tapu Koko with a little bit of, offensive investment. Next up we have Kieran Black, which is a Life Orb variant with a mild nature. Max HP, enough speed to outpace just his slower mons. Had he decided to bring a Thundurus Therian with no speed investment, like Double Dance or something like that, we would outpace that as well, and able to outpace no speed invested Miltank, things like that, obviously, real easily. Max speed Florges and Empoleon are also outpaced by our Kieran Black, and we do have Ice Beam, Iron Head, and Fusion Bolt. Iron Head for the Florges, Fusion Bolt for the Empoleon, and then Iron Head or Fusion Bolt for the Miltank, assuming it is thick fat, and we'll gauge that damage when the time comes. And then we've got Ice Beam as our move of choice, or for stab anyways, with the Life Orb. These 3 moves do insane amounts of damage to my opponent, and I do have Roost to try to negate some of my Life Orb damage. Next up we have Mega Heracross with an Adamant Nature with only 40 attack EVs. With Mega Heracross, I don't know if you guys have ever just played around or even used it in a draft league or anything like that. It doesn't need any attack investment to be stronger than the rest of your squad, which is insane to think about. But yeah, we have max HP. Afford to go really bulky on Mega Heracross almost every week because of its insane attack stat and, the non-reason, or it's so slow that you're not really outpacing anything anyway, so you don't really need speed investment. And we're able to go close combat, pin missile, and rock blast this week, with substitute being our last move. Close combat just nukes his squad: Hydreigon, Empoleon, Fortress, Miltank, Rhydon, Avalugg. Pin missile hits things like the Mega Gallade Hoarder, and then rock blast blows through things like Thundurus Therian and Blacephalon, his only 2 true resist, which don't have that great of defenses anyway. So the idea is that I can force out Tangrowth or Miltank or Rhydon or Avalugg or Fortress or Empoleon, whatever it may be, and I can get up a sub, and then whatever he brings in to revenge kill me has to break my sub while I one-shot it. That's the idea behind that. So next up we have a defensive Nidoqueen, especially defensive Nidoqueen with Black Sludge, a Careful Nature, max HP, quite a bit of SPDF investment, and just a little bit of speed investment to avoid speed creeps from things like Florges and Empoleon and so on and so forth, with Stealth Rock, Poison Jab, Earthquake, and Taunt. So the reason being for a physical Nidoqueen this week is because of Assault Vest Tangrowth, A, Assault Vest Tangrowth, B, Florges being especially defensive naturally, and just having the access to things like Calm Mind. And then Blacephalon as well could be like a Calm Mind Shuka variant, and if it's Calm Mind, then it takes a whole lot less from Earth Power than it would from Earthquake, and we don't want that to be a thing. And we've got Taunt on this bad boy. We can prevent Fortress or Rhydon or anything like that from setting up Stealth Rocks, and then proceed to go ahead and bop them with our stab moves. Poison Jab is there basically for Tangrowth, and I guess Hydreigon and Thunderous Therian being the only mons that this would hit harder than Earthquake, outside of Florges, obviously. And then Stealth Rock, this is our designated Stealth Rocker. Not rocking it on Swampert, as we got a pretty cool Swampert set. We were rocking the Rindo Berry so that we can take a Grass type move from Tangrowth, or like a Grass Knot or Leaf Blade from Thunderous Therian or Mega Gallade respectively. We've got a mixed defense set here with a Bold Nature, max HP, with Ice Beam, Scald, Counter, and Mirror Coat. So my opponent, has me in what he thinks is in range of like Mega Gallade, and he goes to knock me out, and it does over half. I can click Counter and retaliate and get the knockout. Or same thing with Mirror Coat, if he's got something like Empoleon with Grass Knot, and he goes for the Grass Knot there, and I click Mirror Coat and knock him out. Or Thunderous Therian, same thing there. And Blacephalon, if he's like at +1 special attack and he thinks his Shadow Ball is going to knock me out, he goes for Shadow Ball, and I click Mirror Coat and I pick up the surprise knockout. And if he's like Calm Mind, Mirror Coat's a whole lot better than trying to Scald through as well. I debated Earthquake, but I felt like, running some heat on my Swampert is pretty nice. Especially, it picked up 4 kills in the first week and hasn't done much since then, outside of stall a few Pokemon out, or just survive enough hits to be the winner. Anyways, last but not least, we have Silvally. We're rocking the Electric Memory, so it makes us an electric type Pokemon, and we've got the Parting Shot, Multi-Attack, Grass Pledge, and Toxic. So we're running Grass Pledge on this bad boy. It allows us to hit the Rhydon. It's kind of a lure for the Rhydon. Can bring it in and be able to pick it off and open up holes for a Tapu Koko. And like I mentioned, we do have Toxic on this bad boy. It can wear down things like Miltank, Hydreigon, which could otherwise be annoying to us, as could roost off all the damage we could ever do. And Parting Shot is really nice because it allows us to Parting Shot. Say he brings in Tangrowth to check our Silvally Electric, we can Parting Shot into Mega Heracross and be a lot more comfortable to do that instead of just hard switching in. Anyways, I guess that's just about it for the prep, and we can hop into the battle now and see how things go. Alright, so here we are with the replay, and my opponent chooses to bring the Blacephalon, Thunderous Therian, Tangrowth, Mega Gallade, Hydreigon, and Miltank. So right off the bat, I noticed that he only brings one potential Stealth Rocker in Miltank, and his only Z-move user in this matchup is Thunderous Therian. So if he's got a Z-move, it's going to be on the Thundy, and that gives us a lot of information right there. It's more inclined that he is a Z-move Thunderous Therian, and potentially like a Scarf Hydreigon, Specs Blacephalon kind of thing, with his defensive core being Miltank and Tangrowth, and then Gallade being like a breaker or just cleanup crew, depending on how the match is going and what I brought as well. So we brought the team from the team building section that we just went over, and our Stealth Rocker is Nidoqueen, but he does have Mega Gallade. Kind of deters the Nidoqueen lead. It's kind of problematic, and we don't necessarily want to be at a disadvantage right off the bat. So that being said, we're going to see what he leads off here with, as he leads off with the Mill Tank, and we do lead off with our Tapu Koko. So we could be a taunt variant, so I don't know if he necessarily wants to go for rocks. However, he may have Earthquake, and we don't want to take an Earthquake, so we're going to hard switch out into our Savali Electric as he goes for the Toxic and misses. So that's a little bit unfortunate for him, so I'm just going to go for the Parting Shot. My man here doesn't do restarts, and I know that, so I'm not even going to offer him one. And I go for the Parting Shot out here as he goes for the Earthquake, predicting me to go into my Nidoqueen on his Toxic. So that was a fine play by him. I go for the Taunt here, but he reveals to be faster than me, and that's fine. He is naturally faster. It's kind of expected. And he gets his rocks up as I get my rocks up as he hard switches out into Hydreigon. So I'm going to go out into Swampert here as he goes for the Earth Power. Pretty solid play there, maybe expecting my Tapu Koko. And here he goes for the Dark Pulse as I go for the Ice Beam. And it does just a little bit. So I see here that if I click Ice Beam again, I'm only going to get a little bit more chip damage on him, and it's not really worth it. So what I want to do here is click Mirror Coat, as it will double the damage he does to me. So he does 30, and had I been able to get this Mirror Coat off, it would have did 60 back to him. And actually he's a Dark type. So that doesn't even matter. Ice Beam was the play there. So don't listen to me. I'm a ditz sometimes. I have to wear a hat now for 2 weeks that says don't know how to play mons. Anyways, so that really didn't matter. The better play, the only play actually, was clicking Ice Beam there and getting a little bit of extra chip damage on him. And I tried to be cheeky and go for a Mirror Coat, and it would have been immune. So thankfully he got that flinch there, and nobody can see my stupidity unless you're actually watching this video. Anyways, I bring in my Tapu Koko here. Dazzling Gleam is a one-shot, no matter what kind of set he is. It is 4 times effective, unless he was like Roselli Berry, and even then it does a fuck ton. And he knows that, so he hard switches out into his Tangrowth. And Dazzling Gleam into Brave Bird does not knock him out, but the following Brave Bird does. Unfortunately, I had to take Earthquake damage there, and he brings in his Mill Tank, which had already revealed Toxic. So I'm going to go, and Earthquake. So I'm going to go into my Mega Heracross here and finally get off my Mega Evolution. I'm going to click Sub, and this forces my opponent to attack here. So what I can do is just knock him out with the Rock Blast, assuming we land. And we do land, able to one-shot him there. Really nice for us, and he's able to bring out his Blacephalon. So this is really scary. I'm going to have to go into my Savali Electric. And the better play, honestly, was probably going into my Nidoqueen. As you can see, my Nidoqueen could have comfortably taken the first Flamethrower into the second Flamethrower, as it survives a +1 Flamethrower. So, yeah, maybe just going in Nidoqueen was the better play there, and I could have saved my Savali Electric. But what I'm trying to do is open up the end game for my Tapu Koko. So he brings in his titty boy here, them titties, and gets the knockout there on my Nidoqueen. And I revenge kill him with my Mega Heracross, but he's going to be able to revenge kill me with his Hydreigon, packing the Flamethrower there, able to knock us out. But Tapu Koko coming in clutch here. Be able to fire off a Dazzling Gleam here, knock out the Hydreigon, and in comes the Mega Gallade. So my play is one of two things. My moveset is, perhaps I could go for Thunderbolt and bank on a Para. I guess I could have did that, but that was like a 10% chance, and then like another, 20% chance that he actually doesn't move. So that was too risky. The better play is going for the roll here on Dazzling Gleam. Depending on his set, how much bulk he has, regardless, he is more specially defensive by nature, by natural bulk. So my play is to actually click Brave Bird here, and if he survives, depending what he goes for, might give me some valuable information. So maybe if he's Drain Punch with no attack investment, Kieran Black can live a hit if he's able to survive this Brave Bird. So I'm just going to click Brave Bird here as he Mega Evolves, and the Brave Bird does 81%. He survives on 13. Goes for the Psycho Cut there, and that reveals that, all that reveals is that he's got Psycho Cut. So he could have Drain Punch, he could have Close Combat. Either way, it's probably a knockout here. I am not Choppleberry, and I am not Choice Scarf. So either way, it's game here. unless he doesn't have fighting coverage. But yeah, my man Corey has the close combat there, able to knock us out and picks up a narrow 1-0 victory for him, and we fall in defeat for the second straight week. A little bit unfortunate for us, but that's how the game goes sometimes. And it was a really fun game despite the outcome, losing 1-0. I tried to run it back a few times and see if there's any way I could play my last 3 mons in a way that Hydreigon wasn't able to revenge kill my Mega Heracross, and he was actually forced to close combat. And his minus defenses actually put him in range of Coco, but that was a tough way to that was tough to try to get that to happen. I would have had to survive a hit with Kyurem versus the Hydreigon to force close combat, or if I was able to outspeed the Hydreigon, say he didn't speed creep my Kyurem Black, and I was able to pick up the knockout on Kyurem, or just weaken. No, I had to pick up the knockout on Hydreigon, which it was actually an Assault Vest variant, so it might very well have lived a Life Orb Ice Beam from my Kyurem, thanks to its Assault Vest. So, yeah, it was tough to say. Basically, what would have had to have happened for me to win was his close combat do, knock out my Kyurem, and then my Coco comes in and knocks him out, or forces him out because of his lowered defenses, which he would have to sack off something like Hydreigon or Miltank, and then come back in on Stealth Rocks, and then maybe Tapu Koko could get the knockout from there. But yeah, it's going to be it. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Good game to Corey once again. You guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.